These chicken patties are flaky and loaded with a creamy chicken filling. Heated heavy bottom pot on a medium heat, let's add 40 grams of unsalted butter. Let's swirl it around till the butter melts. We're going to add equal proportion of all-purpose flour. So that means we're going to add 40 grams of the flour. We're going to whisk this together and cook it for a little bit till the raw taste of the flour disappears. This is actually what is called a roux. Let's lower the heat to very low. To the roux, let's add 1/4 cup or 50 ml of the milk, and this is going to help to loosen up the roux. Now let's add all the remaining milk and give it a whisk. Adding the milk in 2 stages is going to ensure that you get a lovely, silky, smooth bechamel or white sauce. Let's season up the sauce with 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and no bechamel is complete without nutmeg. So we're going to go in with 1/2 teaspoon of freshly grated nutmeg. We're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, and for a little kick, 1/2 teaspoon of chili flakes. And to finish it off, let's add 1/2 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. Now let's give this a whisk so that the sauce gets well flavored. Now for a little extra decadence, let's add 45 grams of grated cheddar cheese. You could add any cheese of your preference. And for a little touch of freshness, we're going to add 1/2 cup of finely chopped green onion and 1/2 cup of finely chopped cilantro. Now we're going to give it a whisk and then increase the heat to medium, and whisking continuously, we're going to let it thicken up a bit. Now that the sauce is ready, we're going to add 450 grams of shredded boiled chicken. Now let's give it a mix so that the chicken gets well coated with the sauce that we have prepared. Now let's take this off the heat and empty it into a bowl. We're going to cover it with a plastic wrap, making sure that the plastic wrap touches the surface of the filling. This is going to avoid any condensation on the plastic wrap when it chills in the refrigerator. Now we're going to pop this in the fridge and allow it to thicken up and chill for about 3 to 4 hours. Because it's always advisable to use chill filling when making the egg wash, we're going to crack 1 egg and add about 1 tablespoon of milk to it. Let's whisk it together. Now we're going to set this aside and use it later to seal the patties and give them a light brush on the top so that they get a lovely glow once they're baked. For the lovely flaky crust of the chicken patty, we're going to go in with store-bought puff pastry. In each box, I got 2 12 by 10 inch pastry sheets. And from each sheet, we're going to get 4 patties comfortably. We're going to sprinkle some flour on the work surface so that the pastry does not stick. Now let's gently unroll the puff pastry onto the floured surface. To get that traditional shape of a chicken patty, we're going to be baking them in a muffin tray. And for that traditional design, you would also need 2 cookie cutters, 1 4-inch, which we're going to use the straight edge, and a 2 3/4 inch, which we're going to use the curly edge. Whenever I cut a pastry dough with a cutter, I always like to flour the edge so that I get a cleaner cut. And while you're here, check out my holiday favorite playlist for other recipes which are perfect for Christmas. Now let's take the bigger straight edge round and place it inside the cup of the muffin tray. Just be very gentle with it because you do not want to take out all those layers from the pastry. These chicken patties can be prepared ahead of time and left in the refrigerator and popped into the oven just in time when your guests arrive so that they can be served up nice and warm. They make an excellent Christmas appetizer. Now using a medium-sized trigger release ice cream scoop, let's scoop up some of that delicious chicken filling that we had made and fill it into these cups. Having the filling chilled is also going to help to keep the pastry nice and cold. Don't fill the cups up too much with the filling because it'll overflow in baking. I'm just brushing the edge of the pastry cup with a little egg wash because this will help to seal the cap onto the top. Now we're going to place this on the top and make sure it gets sealed. Now using a pointy edge knife, or you could even use a fork, we're just going to make a slit on the top so that the steam gets a chance to release. Now let's gently brush the tops with an egg wash, and this is going to give the chicken patties that lovely glow. And bake them for an additional 10 minutes. Now that the chicken patties have baked well, we're going to leave them in the tray for about 5 minutes to just cool down before we take them out and plate them. Let's garnish them with some chive sticks. You could even sprinkle some cilantro or green onion on them. Oh my goodness!